Okay, I'm on take 3 of this video dealing with profit and selling in SimCity Buildit. Hopefully it goes a little bit better this time. This is going to be a little bit longer video, so everybody that gets frustrated when I have longer videos, I apologize in advance, but here we go. I am going to discuss what I sell, why I sell it, and basically how to make a profit in this game. I know there's a big push towards doing the whole cheeseburger thing, selling cheeseburgers, Daniel buys them. I do not subscribe to that. I don't think that's a good idea. I do not like it on a personal level, so I just don't do it. So here we go. This is my version of how to make money in SimCity. When I talk about making money, we're dealing with simoleons. If I happen to say, dollars or cash or whatever, right now, this video, I mean simoleons. Bear with me, we're not talking about SimCash. Okay. We're not going to talk about items that come straight out of the factories. If you want to sell something that you just produce in your factory, it goes straight from the factory to your depot. You can easily determine how much you make. That we don't have to talk about at all. Everything I'm going to talk about is based on items that are made in your stores. So what are the best items? What is the profit that you will get from them? Why should you make them or why shouldn't you? I'm going to go through every store because in some countries, not everything is called the same. It doesn't have the same name. I'm going to try to highlight each item while I discuss its profit margin and viability for sale. And I'm going to try to do it in a somewhat timely manner, but again, like I said, this is going to take a little bit. Before we get to it, you need to understand the way I proceed. In my opinion, when you need product to make something in your stores, you're not always going to have it. Sure, you can make your own stuff, and yes, of course, you have factories and you should make stuff, but I never want to make less than I think I'm going to, so I'm going to work on worst case scenario. I have to buy the product I need to make whatever I'm selling. With that in mind, when I determine profit, I'm going on spending full price for every item needed to make whatever I'm selling. So just as an example here, let's open the farmer's market and deal with vegetables. If I wanted to make vegetables, yes, I could easily make seeds. It's a 20-minute production time or whatever. But I don't want to presume that I'm going to have seeds when I want to make a vegetable. So if I have to buy those seeds, I know it costs me $30 per seed because we're going to deal with full price because I want to deal with worst case scenario. If I go and buy 2 seeds to make a vegetable, that's $60. That's 60 simoleons. When I sell that vegetable at full price, that's 160 simoleons. I have a profit of 100. That's how I figure profit. You don't have to do it this way. You don't have to like that this is the way I do it, but I want everyone to be on the same page. This is how I am determining the profit. I've never seen anybody else do it this way, but I think that it really needs to be taken into account that you may have to buy stuff or that you will buy stuff. So that's covered. Then there are 2 other criteria that I think really matter when you're trying to make product to sell. The first one is, what is your playstyle? For me, my playstyle is being in a club. I am in a club and I want to be club friendly, which means I rarely advertise items in my depot, and when I put stuff up, I want it to be something I know my club mates are going to need to buy. Maybe not immediately all the time, but I want to know it's a product that I think is in demand. That makes me a good club member, or one of the things that make me a good club member is that my club mates can come to my depot and find stuff they need. They don't have to go searching around on the global market. And when you have a whole club of people that do that, it's amazing how quickly you get what you need, and you can just zip through assignments. You can just zip through whatever it is that you have to do. And if you don't find something quickly, you can just go to either the game chat or any other chat system that you're using. I use Facebook Messenger, and you can message someone and say, hey, do you have whatever it is that you need? And they post it for you. And that is what makes a club good. Helping one another, active players. Okay, that being said, I want to make good product. I want to know what the profit margin is based on the fact that I have to buy everything I need to make it. And this is based on each individual player. You have to determine what your activity level is and what is best suited for that activity level. I've never seen a video that talks about making money that takes into account that not everybody plays the same amount of time. And you really need to base what you're going to make on your activity level. If you know, for example, that it's going to take you 2 hours to make beef, but you're going to be on for the next hour and a half, maybe you need something else out of that store. Why clog up the store with beef when you might need something else? Why not save it for when you're not on? Or if you know you're going to be on all day long and you want to kick out a whole bunch of product to sell, maybe make stuff that takes a lot less longer and it's kicking out all day long while you're on. Maybe you're not on 24/7, but you come back to the game intermittently quite often, over and over again, for a 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 hour stretch, whatever the case may be. So your activity level really matters, and you have to figure that out. If you need multiple product to make something, how and when and where you make it does matter. So, okay, that's based on each individual player, and like I said, you have to fit the criteria into your play style. So hopefully whatever I'm telling you, you can use some of that information to make your gameplay better for you. Because like one player told me not too long ago, nothing is wrong in this game. If you do it your way and it works for you, it's right. And that is true, hands down. So if it works for you, that's right. But if you're in a club, it also has to work for the club. Otherwise, you won't be in that club very long. So here we go. I'm going to go through each store, each market, and I'm going to highlight the item because, like I said, not every item has the same name in every country. So just to try to make sure that we're all on the same page. And then I'm going to list the profit margin for that item, and I might list or discuss my point of view on the value of that item. Farmers market, in my opinion, everything in this market is in high demand. Some of the things are a little bit more high demand, but here we go. Vegetables, profit margin is 100. Flour, profit margin is 340. Fruits and berries, also commonly called watermelons or melons, profit margin is 250. Cream, profit margin is 300. Corn, profit margin is 120. Cheese, profit margin is 380. And beef, profit margin is 440. Now, as we went through that list, you can tell that the items that take longer to produce actually usually give you more of a profit margin. So again, if you're going to be on and, for example, you want to make something quickly, the vegetables only take 16 minutes and you're going to get a profit margin of 100. So in less than 20 minutes you can make 100 simoleons. But if you wanted to make beef, you have to wait 2 hours, and then once it kicks out you can make 440. So the time it takes to make something has to be taken into account. That has to be part of your playstyle, has to be part of your determination on what to make and when to make it. For me, hands down, the absolute best product, if we're talking making money only, is the flour bag. It has the 340 simoleon profit. It only takes 24 minutes. It does require a cloth, which is a a little bit time consuming to get, but it's, in my opinion, the best product in this store for making money. So I also have a tendency to make cream and the watermelons and the corn because, like I said, everything is useful, but you just don't have enough time in the day to make everything. All right, hardware store, moving on. Let's rock and roll right on through here. Hammers, profit margin is 60. Tape measures, profit margin is 75. Shovels, profit margin is 95. Cooking utensils, profit margin is 140. Ladders, profit margin is 160. And then the drills, profit margin is 360. Now, as you can see, the highest profit margin is the drill. However, they do require just over an hour and a half to produce, and they do require a fair amount of product, with the electronic component being the most annoying one to get. You have to decide what's best for you. Everything here really sells pretty good. Everybody will need this store's product at some point in time, and it does sell pretty good. Ladders have a tendency to sell quite regularly. Tape measures fly off the shelves. Shovels, in my opinion, are probably the best guarantee. It's going to sell quick if you want to go quick, and with a 24-minute build time. Again, my stores are upgraded, so your build time might be a little bit longer. Shovels are a really good product to make, and they have the $95 simoleon profit. The cooking utensils is also really good, but I think the shovels sell a little bit faster. Fashion store. In this store, we've got the caps, which have the profit margin of 310. Then we have the shoes, which have the profit margin of 335. We have the watch, which has the profit margin of 350. Then we have the business suit, which just takes way too long to make, and it also has a profit margin of 350. And then the backpack, which quite often is in high demand and takes a really long time to make and only has a profit margin of 90. So when I'm making product here, as you can see, quite often I make the caps and the watches. I think they're the two best items to make. They sell quickly, they have really good profit. And then I also make the backpacks on occasion just so I have some when I need them. Moving on to the next store, the donut shop. Donuts have a profit of 270. Green smoothies have a profit of 260. Bread rolls also have a profit of 260. The cherry cheesecake has a profit of 280. The frozen yogurt, which takes over 3 hours to make, has a profit of 470. And then the coffee has a modest profit of 140. So for this market, I will make coffee occasionally just because I know people need it. And I do make the bread rolls because I know they're in high demand. But for the most part, in my opinion, the donut is the absolute best seller and the best way to make money. And now that wars are in effect, donuts are needed on a really high demand level. So you can make a killing with selling donuts. Next store is the appliance store, home appliances. The barbecue grill has a profit margin of 250. The fridge has a profit margin of 570. The light bulb lighting system has a profit margin of 550. TV has a profit margin of 570. And then the microwave has a profit margin of only 160. Everything in this store takes a long time to make. Everything will sell, especially now that wars are in effect. However, for me, the fastest selling item is the barbecue grill. Occasionally I'll make a fridge, but for the most part, it's pretty time intensive at almost 3 hours. And I do need the other product, but you can usually find it for sale on the global market. So for the most part, I focus solely on the barbecue grill with an occasional microwave oven tossed in just in case I happen to need them for an assignment. Next store, building supply store. Again, this is like the farmer's market, one of the most in-demand stores there are. I wish I could have 5 of them, maybe even more. They're probably more valuable than the ridiculously annoying Maxis Manor, but that's just me being obnoxious. In this store we have nails, and they have a profit margin of 60. They crank out really fast in only 4 minutes, so if you want to make some money quick, you make some metal, you make some nails, and they will sell, especially on the global market. Planks also sell really quickly. They have a profit margin of 80. Bricks have a profit margin of 110. Cement has a profit margin of 300. Glue has a profit margin of 295. And then paint has a profit margin of 140. I make a lot of paint because paint is just needed for like everything. But the best items, if you want to make money, are the glue and the cement. They take a little bit longer, but if you want to crank out something fast, like I said, the nails, you can definitely make good money there. And the planks, always in high demand, and they'll always sell on the global market. So for the most part, everything here sells. The paint is the least productive when it comes to making a profit, but it is in high demand. Furniture store. We have chairs, which make a $90 profit. Then we have the tables, which make a $130 profit. We have the home textiles, which make a profit of $230. We have the cupboards, which make a profit of $220. And we have the couches, which take 2 hours to make and do net a profit of $530. However, the couches don't sell in high demand. They will sell eventually, but for the time it takes to actually sell them, I think if you're active and on regularly, the other items are better to make. Me personally, I'm a big fan of tables, home textiles, and cupboards. I think they sell relatively quickly, and you have a decent profit margin from them. Then we have the gardening supply store. And right now, I'm a little bit short on having my stores queued up, so let's put a few things in there just so something is building. The grass has a profit margin of 90. The tree saplings have a profit margin of 210. The garden furniture, which also is called beach chairs by most people, has a profit margin of 350. The fire pit, which takes over 3 hours, sadly only has a profit of 330. The lawnmower also has a profit of 330 and takes just over an hour and a half. And then the garden gnomes have a profit of 280. For my money, hands down, the best item to make in this store is the garden furniture. I also make the tree saplings and the lawnmowers because they sell quite nicely as well. And I do happen to need the tree saplings on a regular basis. Then the final store, and again, this is the one with the cheeseburgers, fast food restaurant, your tier 3 food products. I make absolutely nothing in here unless I'm forced into it, because in my opinion, I am on so often and so much that selling the product that is made prior to this actually makes me as much or more money as I would make if I wasted my time to actually put it together into the end product. But let's go through this again based on everything being full cost and purchasing it to make these items. The ice cream sandwich has a profit margin of 280. The pizza has a profit margin of 470. The burgers have a profit margin of 390. The cheese fries have a profit margin of 230. The lemonade bottle has a profit margin of 500. And then the popcorn has a profit margin of 210. Like I said, I stay away from this. I have it just in case I need it for assignments. But in my opinion, everything that is needed to make these items sells better individually as the components as opposed to the end product here. Sells much faster. So I don't see the benefit of the added time to put it together and then wait for it to sell. But there you have it. There is the list of all the profit for every item if you take into account that you pay full price to buy everything needed to make those items. I hope that helps someone. I hope that you are having a good day and you're doing well in your game. Thanks for watching.